Hey there guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Lost Odyssey. On the last episode we exited the Temple of Enlightenment after reaching the maximum level in the game, level 99, from fighting the hellish Kelolons, which are located at the Temple of Enlightenment. So if you guys didn't do that, go ahead and check my not the previous video, but the episode before that. It was part 100. That shows the strategy that I used to reach level 99. I went from level 68 to level 99 within a matter of 4 hours. So it still took a little bit of time, but it was nothing compared to what it would usually take. And also we exited the Temple of Enlightenment, ran over to the city of Salmon to collect our reward for placing the enchanter's mast on the altar, and then we came to the white boa and we crafted a few new rings, such as the meteorite ring, which is a very awesome and powerful ring. And I put that onto Seth because Seth has the sun ring and Kaim has the greed ring. So on this episode we are going to be getting the final ultimate weapon of the game, and you can choose if you want the final ultimate weapon to be on Kaim or Seth. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on to Seth because we already have a extremely powerful sword for Kaim. We already have an ultimate weapon on the Kaim, and Seth needs one. So we're going to go ahead and craft it for Seth. Alright, so go ahead and get back on the white boa and press the right analog stick to move to the nearest destination point. And now we are going to head to the Ipsilon Mountains. Go ahead and enter from the south side, which will save you some time. That way you don't have to run all the way through the mountains. And you remember that blacksmith that I told you to remember where he was? Blacksmith Lau? Well, now is where he's gonna come in handy. So as long as you got the Ore Orichalcum from the Temple of Enlightenment, which was that extremely rare synthesis component that I told you guys about, the Ore Orichalcum, it is located at the Corridor of Timelessness inside the Temple of Enlightenment. In case you guys are unsure, you can check back on one of my previous videos if you guys didn't get it. Yeah, that's what you're gonna need in order to synthesize this ultimate weapon. So when you enter the Ipsilon Mountains from the south side, go ahead and follow the path and jump over the gap in the road.
We've taken the advantage!
I'm gonna go ahead and take these guys out so you guys can see how much damage I'm doing with everybody. Seth's hitting her critical hit is hitting for 8,570. Seth's critical hit is hitting for 7,400. And Kaim's regular hit is hitting for 4,400. His critical hit is hitting for 9,000 damage. The reason why it only showed 4,000 is because we didn't get the critical. The critical would have been double, so it would have been about 8,900 damage. Go ahead and ascend the first ladder you come to, and then head left and ascend the second ladder. And then head south and ascend the third ladder. And then north and ascend the fourth ladder. And there's Blacksmith Lau. So go ahead and head south.
Not too smart, eh?
There's Kaim's critical attack, 9,919 damage. Which is the highest damager we have.
It's not in my nature to lose.
9,919 damage, man. He's gonna put a hurting on somebody. So go ahead and head south, and here is Blacksmith Lau just to the left of the mountain path. When you talk to him now, he's gonna notice the Orichalcum that you have in your inventory. And he's gonna tell you to decide who you want to have the ultimate weapon, because he's about to make it for you with the Orichalcum that you have. So choose wisely, because you can only have it for one person, and once you choose, there's no going back. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose Seth, because we already have an ultimate weapon for Kaim. And with that, you get the White Ignis ultimate weapon and the Ignis Ring. Very awesome. So let's go ahead and put that on to Seth right away. And the description reads, a spiritual steel sword forged using the mysterious Ore Orichalcum. For Seth only. And the weapon attack power is 277. Which is slightly weaker, well not really slightly, a lot weaker than the Age of the King. But unlike the Age of the King, the attack power does not matter on this weapon. It'll be hitting for about the same amount of damage. Despite what it says, it's very powerful. This is the second strongest sword in the game. And you can check out the Ignis Ring, which is damage up level 3 plus. HP absorb level 3 plus, and rare item robber level 3 plus. Now in case you don't know, which you should by now because it's the end of the game, when it says 3 plus beside, it doesn't mean that it does more damage than level 3, it just means that the effective area is widened. which means it's going to be easier to hit perfects with this ring. But for now, we're just going to keep on rolling with the Sun Ring, because the Sun Ring is the best ring in the game. Well, not the best, but one of the best rings in the game. In my opinion, the Greed Ring is the best ring in the game when it comes to just physically attacking enemies that do not have an elemental weakness. I prefer the Greed Ring onto Kaim. But it's good to have either the Sun Ring, Atmosphere Ring, or Meteorite Ring, or Comet Ring, just because they have an elemental property. Meaning that if a monster is weak to fire, the Sun Ring is going to do more damage than the Greed Ring would do, because you have the element of fire onto your sword. And it's pretty much embedded into all of your attacks. But what sucks about it is if you're going up against the enemy that is fire based, which means its main element is fire, then the Sun Ring is just going to heal them. Instead of doing extra damage, it's just going to heal them. Or it's not going to do very much damage at all. So that's what you got to watch out for when it comes to rings. You're going to want to make sure that you have the correct ring for the correct element of each monster. But fortunately, you can change your rings mid-battle. All you gotta do is press left on the D stick or on the D-pad, and you can switch your rings right in the middle of battle. So if you're looking at a monster, like say this one, its element is Earth, you're gonna want the Wind Ring, which is the Typhoon Ring, which is the one that I wanted but I couldn't craft. Because I didn't have the right components. But oh well, it's no big deal. And with the counter, we took out the last enemy. Very awesome. By the way, if you're using the counter skill, you might want to invest in the counter up skill, which increases the rate of your physical attacks, or of your counter attacks. Because if you have counter by itself, without the counter up skill attached to it, then you're only going to counterattack sometimes. But if you have the counter up, you'll pretty much counterattack every time. And another skill you're going to want to equip with that is double back, because the double back skill occasionally doubles back the amount of damage for a counterattack. So if you're hitting for 4,000 damage, if you have the double back skill, you'll hit back for 8,000 occasionally. It's not going to happen every time, but it'll happen occasionally. And lastly, if you're using counter, the best thing to have is evade up. That way you evade the enemy's physical attack and counter. So all of that stuff factors in when you're using counter attacks. You're going to want to equip all of them skills to have the best effect. And now that that's done, we have the final ultimate weapon of the game. There's only one thing left to do. We've completed all of the side quests. We've killed all of the optional bosses except one. And we've done everything. So for the last quest, or not quest, but the last thing that we can do, is we're going to head over to Gotsa City. Enter from the east side. And I know if you guys have played Lost Odyssey and got to the end of the game before, I know you guys have probably been waiting for this moment. We can finally tackle the final remaining task in Lost Odyssey. Not the final boss, that comes after this, but the final optional task that we can do. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and enter Goatsa City from the east side, and you should enter into Lowtown. Once in Lowtown, head all the way to the northwest area and enter the elevator. And I accidentally chose the 10th floor. But once you are on the elevator, go ahead and choose the backyard from the list. And you should be taken down into the backyard arena. And here it is, guys. This is the final optional thing that we can do in Lost Odyssey. So I'm going to go ahead and save my game at the save point. And I'll give you guys the details on the next episode of Let's Play Lost Odyssey. I hope you guys are ready, because I know I am. Level 99, baby. So I'll see you guys next time on the next episode of Let's Play Lost Odyssey.